Sure.
And I have a hard time transitioning between the two.
Oh, I understand. I mean, my friends used to make so much fun of me because as growing up as a kid down in Florida, my father always told me, he said, look, when you get a hit on a plastic worm, you never know how big it's going to be, so cross his eyes. so, so and he was right. I mean, I used to set the hook the same way, and they used to call me Back Bend Ron because I was laid way back ripping that hook, man. I mean, way back. And Back Bend Ron was putting fish in trees and knocking people's hats off and putting 8-pounders in people's chest by accident, flipping, and and you're right. You do kind of have to have that sensitive touch when you're crappie or panfish fishing. I totally agree with that. And so I've toned it down, especially with the invent of braid and whatnot. And you just have to just twitch your wrist a little bit, and you'll set the hook. Especially with the hooks that we use on RoadRunners, they're major sharps. You just got a little twitch in your wrist, and you're on. But there are places around the nation where crappie are very, very, very prevalent. And if you guys ever want to catch monster after monster, I highly recommend you go to Lake Grenada down in Mississippi. Go down there in the fall or winter and spring. Man, you talk about big fish. But if you go on crappie now, you'll see some photos of some gigantic crappie. I mean, huge, huge crappie that people are catching right now. It's unreal.
I can't do that. It hurts my soul.
And mine too, is I'm working too much.
So I've got a couple more just quick questions.
Sure.
What kind of give us like a basic rig rundown of what you use for a crappie rod?
Well, if I'm throwing RoadRunners, just one pole and RoadRunners, I'm all about 6'6", medium light. For most people that understand Shimano reels, the 1000 series, I usually use a 1000 Stratic. I usually use, depending on where I'm at, I'll use 4 or 6 pound line and just tie direct. Just check my water clarity, look at the cloud cover, make a choice of color, look at the structure, and just go for it from there. That's my basic run. Now, when I'm spider rigging, it's 10, 11, and 12-foot B&M poles with B&M reels, 10-pound line. Because when you're dealing with spider rigging, you have a lot of structure catch. You have a lot of you get a gar if you catch a gar by accident on a spider rig and you got 8 poles out, it's a nightmare. I mean, it's like a backlash in a bait casting reel. But that gar goes back and forth. He grabs up all 80 of the lines, ripping stuff everywhere, and you got to start all over from scratch. That's the only downside to spider rigging. But man, does it produce fish! It's unreal how much it produces. But when it comes down to just throwing a RoadRunner, 16th or 8th ounce RoadRunner with a curly tail on it, it's always 6'6", medium light. Shimano Stratic 1000 size reel, and 4 or 6 pound line, and something I can cast far or even bend over and shoot. I've got a couple of dock shooting rods that I use, and they're only 5 foot tall, and I have like a basic 1000 size Shimano on there. I think it's a Syncopate, and usually that's usually my dock shotting rod, and it's very ultralight, but it's got a lot of backbone probably in the last 1/3 of the blank. So I've got a little power to pull fish out of underneath a dock or around a boat or somebody's lawn chair that fell in there from a hurricane or something. So yeah, that's the easiest one to do, man. 6'6", medium light, one piece. Never use 2-piece rods. Totally against it. So one piece, 6'6", medium light. And you're set, man. That's all you need.
And lastly, your favorite crappie preparation. Are you a batter or a breaded guy?
I'm a Cajun spice type person. So I'm always doing the double dip. I do the egg wash flour, egg wash Cajun dip right into a fryer. That's me. And you gotta have a big bowl of collards. Gotta have some coleslaw and baked beans to go with it. ice cold mug of icy beer.
Now we're talking.
No, let me tell you, I grew up doing that, man. It's just, I mean, eating snook and trout and redfish, Cajun style, trout almondine, Cajun fried crappie. I just happen to like Cajun spices, Tony Chachere's, stuff like that. But it's always egg wash flour, egg wash, and then Tony Chachere's Cajun fish mix, fish batter. And, man, it is so good. So good. Absolutely. Man, I'm getting hungry now.
I was going to say, I could tell you're over making it on the table.
Yeah, I'm an amateur chef, so I'm into cooking. I love it. My wife loves it too, actually.
I'd imagine. Sean, you got anything else you want to add?
I think I'm good.
All right. Ron, I've got some previous engagements. I hate to cut us off here because I think we could talk about it all day.
No problem. I understand. I got plenty of work here, man. Believe me. And I enjoy talking with you guys. I really appreciate you having me on, and I'll come on and talk with you guys anytime you want to.
I was hoping to hear that. Okay, Ron, I appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. You have a great day and be safe out there, and God bless.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'd like to thank Ron for spending the time to talk to me and Sean. It was very gracious of him. We learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. Be sure to visit our Facebook page, 12 Hike, or go to our website, 12hike.com, where we update it regularly with new vlogs, new photos. We're doing a TTI Blakemore lure giveaway. Be sure to check that out. And if you have any suggestions for future episodes, please send them in to the 12 Hike podcast at gmail.com.